best taste you'll ever imagine.
Nostalgia is at the root of every great personal memory. The more I watch the films I've created, the more I see just how terrible they really are. Yet, as I grow older, I find myself loving them more and more. Each one of these crafted stories brings with it a reminder of who I was and what I've experienced. As I've grown, my creations have adapted, and like any person trying to figure themselves out, my films represented my growing personality. One of my first real exposures to the world of movie making behind the camera came when I got my first cell phone at the ripe age of 14. After watching my friend cleverly construct a simple stop motion with a group of toy ninjas, my interest peaked and I was sold. Incredibly choppy and imprecise, my stop motion film was a perfect reminder of that awkward stage in life where you can't decide if you're a kid or if you're supposed to start trying to act like a grown-up. That point where you realize you should probably stop ordering off the kids menu, but you aren't sure if you're quite ready to give up the crayons. The blend of my new toy, my cell phone, and my old ones will forever remind me of the small part of me that has never decided to grow up. It wasn't too long after this, however, that my friends and I decided to team up and really push the limits of what we were able to do. Being from southern Louisiana, we fittingly called ourselves Crazy Cajun Pictures, and thus our adventurous boyhood mentalities were able to manifest themselves in film. I'll always remember the laughs my parents pushed forth and the satisfaction we had in gaining that. Film had become a hobby, and from that point forth, it would be difficult to do anything else without feeling the need to have it documented and edited.
Hey, who is that? Come out of there. Come out!
Some things, though, are probably better off not being remembered. See those tiny shorts I'm wearing? Yeah. The reason is because I saw all my guy friends starting to wear athletic shorts, and I wanted to fit in. I didn't own any athletic shorts, so I just went with the next best thing, some old soccer shorts. And don't even get me started on that sword fighting set to Queen. We were trying so desperately to be funny. But I guess the most important thing is that we were having fun. Right? I'm not sure what happened between the winter break of sword fighting and the ensuing summer, but suddenly our entire attitude switched. We weren't so interested in trying to be hilarious, but being at the threshold of 16, life was starting to have its little moments of complication. So that summer we found ourselves turning to the deeper side of things and made something that would soon have a profound personal impact. It's not a groundbreaking film by any means, but it was groundbreaking for me. Because of this film, I realized that films were more than something you just let people view, but instead it allows you to say something. The indescribable power of film was finally becoming clear to me, and the tumultuous times that inevitably come with being a teenager allowed me to say things I really couldn't have otherwise said. While I definitely became much more introspective during my teenage years, I still never lost that senseless sense of fun or that desire to capture what was happening around me. Soccer games turned into documentaries, and my relationships with my friends didn't change, even with my closest friends moving away to the neighboring state of Texas. Film served as somewhat of a permanent link between us, and something that continues to solidify our bond, even as the miles between us increase. My final final years of high school began to pass by, and that introspective mindset continued to set in as I began to heavily consider what was going to happen with my future. I even spent an afternoon driving around my town just filming myself as I drove. Yeah, kind of weird, but it ended up turning into this film that reflected my feelings of my high school experience and highlighting some of those moments that I had caught on film.
Little light in the dark, little hope that you just might find your way up out of here.
Even now that I'm in college, I definitely can't say I'm done growing, and even through mandatory school assignments and films I still make for fun, I find pieces of my personality sprinkled into them. Even though most of my films have been fiction, together they paint the non-fictional story of my life. Nostalgia is at the root of every great personal memory, and forever will film lie at the root of mine.